there is what is to be faced by them as well. So prepared for that, knowing that they come down, assuming the human body. And while we are on this series of presenting the persecution, especially the focus being on the displacement of women on the face of the persecution, which the United Nations has recognized the depth of the persecution that has happened to the women on the face of this persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and how the women have been displaced place to place across systematic persecutions. As you all know, we saw just a couple of days back the attack in the year 2010, which was one of the largest attacks on Bhagwan Swamiji and the entire community that's trying to make this happen. So the women who have withstood the 2010 attack, who were displaced in the year 2010, we have all come and shared. And it's been a decade now, more than a decade. And we have survived many, many more persecutions, many, many more displacements. We have only emerged stronger. And it is completely by divine will that the whole thing is happening, because we are up against all odds, to put it in a nutshell.
Warning, issues have been detected that need your immediate attention.
Sorry for the technical
Click
glitch. We have been only growing stronger, and that too only by the grace of the divine will. There is nothing else to hold on here, because all the forces that are supposed to be protecting us, all the machineries that are supposed to be in place, facilitating a peaceful life for citizens, for the global citizens, are unfortunately not understanding the importance of keeping this greater science of Hinduism alive. It is only going to help even them and their future generations to live their dreams, because the ignorance is so large that people don't understand that even their material world dreams for economic prosperity or whatever it may be is going to get fulfilled only if you raise your own consciousness. You are not going to be able to achieve it with just the life of struggle that you're now experiencing, which is why these incarnations come back again and again, irrespective of the abuses and attacks faced by them. So we saw what happened in 2010. And today, while we are just preparing ourselves to receive Bhagwan once again for the live Nithyananda Satsang and the revelations for today, we are once again getting into a deeper understanding of the persecution. While we are so eager to receive Bhagwan, it is equally important to understand the history of persecution of this greater science of enlightenment, so that we ourselves will wake up to it. Like we have heard Swamiji say so many times, even Hindus have not woken up to the history of persecution. They feel it is happening generally around them, and it is something that they can afford to ignore and continue with their own lives. They don't understand it is affecting them in so many ways. It's going to affect their future generations. The future generations are not even going to have the greater science available to them. Even they don't have the greater science available to them today the way it was available decades or centuries ago. And the result of it is the individual and global problems we are facing every day. Whether it is the corona, COVID-19, or it is each one of your individual problems, economic issues, relationship issues, career issues, depression, fatigue, attempt to suicide, and you want to make money, you don't know how to make it. Any individual problem can be mapped back to the lack of superconscious existence as human beings. Unless we understand this, and unless we understand that there are forces at play who are systematically trying to destroy this greater science of Hinduism from being spread, so that they can prevent the, once again, establishment of powerful individuals on the planet who will not cater to the mundane political, economical, social clutches, who will want to live a liberated life, who will create a Satya Yuga, one of pure righteousness, million times more than the systems available today, the original Hindu Dharma, so that the entire world can live as a global enlightened civilization, so prosperous, so rich, each one fulfilling their own dreams. That is the Satya Yuga. That is what the greater science of Hinduism will bring, including the perpetrators. who are unfortunately not understanding this, even their lives will be raised 1,000,000-fold if the Satya Yuga is reinstated. Unfortunately, only when the demonic qualities and low-level understandings in us leave us, even the perpetrators will understand why even they need this greater science to be spread. And they will actually even be able to join hands in allowing the incarnations to do their job. Today, just before we're preparing ourselves to receive Bhagwan, we are going to look at the persecution that happened in the year 2012, which is one of the most venomous, multi-pronged attacks on Bhagwan and the whole effort of making the Kailasa nation happen, and on the sannyasis and specifically the women. In the short time that we have left with us, we will only be able to about start the attack that happened on 2012. And in the subsequent pre-satsang segments, we will present to you the complete details of it. I have joining me today Manikyapurna Priyananda, one of our sannyasis, who's from the Western Hemisphere and who has lived the life that she wanted to live and understood the need for protecting this greater science of Hinduism, and has dedicated her entire life for it, sacrificing everything what she knew earlier about life and in life, and has understood that what lies ahead, the need of the hour, is to protect this science. And she has adorned Sanya. She will be joining me today in today's pre-satsang segment. So what happened in 2012? Request the NTV operator to provide the feedback so I know the global audience is able to see and hear me. Please bear with us for the moment. There's a small technical glitch.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Yes. Sorry for the technical glitch. We are back. So we are here understanding the persecution that happened in the year 2012, which started around the month of June. Of course, it has been a series of attacks and a series of efforts to stop Bhagwan's mission continuously for the past decades. But it once again gained momentum with a focused multi-pronged attack on the 7th of June 2012. On the 7th of June 2012, actually Bhagwan Swamiji had called for a press conference. As you all know, there is the false rape case against Bhagwan, the perpetrator of the false case, the NRI woman, who is also a carrier of 4 sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, which she hid from the officials while slapping the false rape charges. Her medical records were obtained legally through the judiciary system, and that revealed that she was a carrier of the 4 STDs, which would straightaway disprove her false rape charges against Bhagwan, because it was medically proven that there is no STD in his system, and there is no way that a carrier of 4 STDs could have even one physical relationship with a so-called rapist, and the rapist is not carrying the STD in him. Whereas the false rape charge accuser has claimed 40, 50, 60, 100 instances of rape and happily carrying the 4 STDs in her, not even dreaming that it will be out in the open. Her medical records were procured through the judicial system and produced, and it was very crucial to call for a press conference and release this information to the innocent global citizens. So, and also to conclude the fight for justice on the wake of this false rape charges. So with that hope, the press conference was called. And on the 7th of June, I'm going to be showing you a series of visuals for you to help you understand better what exactly happened. While Bhagwan had called for the press conference and the press conference had just started, we were in for a complete shock and surprise. The next great multi-pronged attack broke out right in the press conference room. One of the mainstream media, Suvarna Television, one individual called Ajit from the Suvarna Television was sitting in the press conference room as part of the press personnel. And while the press conference was going on, barely a few minutes after it started, he stood up with a package in his hand. I'm going to be sharing this with you. Yes. As you can see here, this is the individual. As you can see, the press personnel are sitting behind him, and he just stood up with a package in his hand. And we had no clue. And he started walking towards Bhagwan, who was on stage. He started walking towards him with the package, claiming that he has come to serve a summon which Bhagwan has been evading, and it is a summon from a foreign court. We were shell-shocked because every single false charge that has been slapped on Bhagwan has been taken care with such systematic, meticulous, through such a systematic, meticulous legal team, in spite of the fact that we've been slapped with so many rape charges and so many false charges and so many sections of the judicial system, continuously the legal team has been attending to it. And here, this individual comes with one more accusation, and this time it was combined with a life attack as well, because we later discovered that the package he was having in his hand, the unidentified package, which he claimed was a summon from a foreign court, which Bhagwan was evading, which Bhagavan also clarified then and there to him that no summon has been evaded and he has been abiding by the law to the T. In spite of that, he was advancing, and we later found out that the package was an anthrax carrying package, which was the weapon he was carrying in his hand to once again try to destroy the life of Bhagwan. And as he started moving towards him, we understood what was happening, because he was not listening to the replies that Bhagwan was giving him, that there was no summon being evaded. Instead, his focus was on advancing towards him with the package. And therefore, a few sannyasis and residential Adin Kailasavasis actually started moving towards Ajit and tried to stop him from delivering the package, from fleeing the package onto the stage. And then we did not know that Ajit had his henchmen already stationed inside the press conference room under the garb of press personnel. And they were members of the Karnataka Navanirmana Sene. And his henchmen actually sprung into action and started assaulting each one of us who was only trying to protect Swamiji. And we were only trying to tell him, sir, please move. Sir, please move. That was the only thing we kept repeating to him. And he refused to listen. He completely executed what he came for, almost, except assassinating our beloved Swamiji. Because we stopped him right there and we somehow started moving him out of the hall. And even our efforts, actually the screen you're seeing in front of you, a little more background about the false rapist, the false rape accuser. This individual is a carrier of 4 STDs, and as you can see in front of you, she has filed the same false rape charges in the United States District Court in the Southern District of Ohio. And there the case has been thrown out of the court and she has been penalized for 3 crore Indian rupees. As you can see in front of you, that the court order itself is there in front of you, and the case has been thrown out on her face as a false rape charge. And unfortunately, the same case in India has been taking a decade long, and we're still fighting for justice. We still hope and stand for justice. And meanwhile, when this Ohio District Court order was presented in the Sessions Court as an individual case in the Bangalore city, the Bangalore city, the City Civil and Sessions Court also passed an order. You're going to see in front of you, yes, passed an order penalizing her for the same amount of rupees. It is there right in front of you here. But unfortunately, the parallel decade-long case that was originally filed by the false rape accuser is still prolonging, not willing, for God knows what reasons, not willing to recognize the falsity of the case and just close the case on the face of pure righteousness, dharma. This is the false rape accuser who actually, this is a series of interviews that the false rape accuser had with the very Suvarna television from where Ajit emerged. And they concluded the series of interviews with her, where she came and once again reiterated her false rape charges and cried to the viewers and tried to muster sympathy of the viewers with her false charges, hiding her lies. And it was a shocker to her when her medical records were exposed. And to patch up for that, she came for this series of interviews. And that concluded on the 2nd. And on the 7th, the attack started. The same Suvarna television, spearheaded by Ajit and backed by the false rape accuser and her team, started the attack in the press conference. This is the press conference going on stage. As you can see in front of you, Bhagwan is there. And here is this individual from Suvarna with the package in his hand, trying to advance to where Bhagwan is sitting on stage. And then we are only trying to tell him to move away, because Bhagwan has already clarified that no summon has been evaded. And here you can see the individual is refusing to move. He's standing his ground. And so that giving the time and space for his henchmen to spring into action and start the physical attack as per their plan. And the women were not spared. The women were manhandled, and there is a molestation case filed against Ajit himself by our own sannyasis. Our own sannyasinis here, whom you can see in the visuals you're being presented now. As you can see, we are only telling him, please move, please stop, please move. That's all. And the media mafia just captured these visuals alone, which we expressed in the peak of our anxiety and concern for the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. They captured these visuals and put their own lines to it and said, look how violent the sannyasis are. Look how violent they are attacking the Suvarna television personnel. So those were the headlines that flew. And they mapped the visuals very cunningly, as always, to false headlines and presented as though we were attacking, whereas the women were actually beaten. They were touched in all inappropriate places.
Actually, Bhakti Goswami, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
You were there that day yourself, right? Bhakti Goswami, when this attack happened?
Yes, ma'am, very much. Inside the press conference room.
So can you share your personal experience of, were you also attacked during this whole scenario that was happening? Were you also manhandled the way Achala Swami and so many of our sannyasis were?
Absolutely, Ma. The way the scene unfolded, as usual, it was a complete surprise that sprang on us from out of thin air. We were there conducting the press conference, and they turned the press conference room into a war field. Oh, of course, it was a one-sided war as usual from their side. And we were so many female sannyasis there, and they did not hesitate to physically manhandle us in front of so many people. And they were just pushing us, shoving us around. You can see in front of your eyes, Manitya Achalananda Swami being actually manhandled by this individual from Suvarna television, Ajit. Yes. And you can see it on the right-hand side also. It was a shocker to us women, because we thought at least if we go in the forefront and try to stop them, they will back off from the attack. But actually, they got more aggressive. I will never forget those days, Ma, because it was the one more time we had to be displaced from our own home, our own monastery, because we had to fight for justice through the legal system, and it was not safe to stay in the campus anymore. And this was what led to our illegal arrest. This 2012, what you're seeing in front of you is the 7th of June, where Ajit started the major attack. And by the time we got him to move from the campus, it took such a long time. And then what happened was they came back in the evening, and we were still groping with the, we're trying to cope with the impact of the attack. Yes, because the women were hurt, abused, and it was a shocker to us. And we had to once again think of how to keep the body of Swamiji safe and alive. And we thought it was over with the morning. But then what happened in the evening was, Ma, you can see here the continued attack on Manitya Achalananda Swami from the perpetrators.
They were so relentless, like continuously.
Yes, Ma. You can see here, Ma. Actually, Achalananda Swami, as a female sannyasi, is only explaining to the press the inhuman, unbelievable attack that has just happened on us. But the way she was portrayed is that, she's so violent. And of course, they masked off all that she had to say, because if anyone heard what she had to say, they would have understood the whole happening. But the innocent public only consumed the visuals along with the commentary by the media mafia. So they only hear those false headlines and news, and matched with these unfortunate visuals.
Yes,
you can see here.
She was also personally attacked. She was also sexually violated that day itself. And no media.
Yes, Ma. She was sexually violated by this individual, Ajit, and she has filed a case for it. As you know, Ma Purna Priya, our only recourse is legal recourse every time. Yes. With the only hope that justice will prevail. Here you can see, Ma, the evening attack. I was actually at the gate, Ma, when this attack happened in the evening. So what happened was after the morning. Yes. After the morning attack was over, we were still putting the place back into shape. And suddenly we heard voices at the gate again. And we all rushed to the gate. And what met the eye was a Suvarna OB van, means a live relay van, along with the Karnataka Navanirmana Sene militants. They came together again, this time armed much better and in bigger force with a live relay van. And they actually jumped over the gate. You can see that in front of your eyes. They all started jumping over the gates with huge stones, boulders, and rods, and they started attacking us raw. You can see the red circle here, the stones being thrown on your left-hand side.
God,
And I was right there at the gate. Sorry, Ma.
I was just saying they're very large stones that usually they would hurt somebody if they hit anybody.
Ma, like how we were seeing, Ma, even in the case of Kailasan Trishulam, when the attack happened on the women, just ruthlessly and without even an iota of humanness in them, they were just flinging raw boulders, stones, rods, and wooden poles. And the same thing repeated here on the 7th of June 2012. Here you can see one of the administrators, he sustained a 3-centimeter cut on his head and had to undergo surgery with 33 sutures administered on him.
God.
You can see here, he's entirely smeared with blood. And they even stopped him. By the time we even got him to the hospital, it was a challenge. He was even stopped from moving to the hospital. That was a fight. And you can see here next what happened at that time at the gate. You can see Ma Nithyananda Swami in this visual. She's actually being attacked not by one person, but by multiple people. They're trying to disrobe her in front of your eyes. And mind you, this is happening at the gate.
And
it was one of the most unbelievable scenes for me. While I was trying to protect myself and I was standing at the gate, Sorry, Ma?
No, I was just saying the whole thing is being filmed. Like this is a news channel. That
Ma, I'm sorry, I was not able to hear you completely.
Sorry, Swami. I was saying that this whole thing is being filmed as this is.
So as you can see here in front of your eyes, Ma Nithyananda Swami was actually tried to be molested. Yes. It was all being live relayed by the OB van, which they had come equipped with. Okay.
God.
So the idea is to present an image that this whole place is a place where you should not be living, so that everyone will flee from the place. The women will get displaced because of the attacks that are happening, and future women will not be able to enter because of the scenes that are meeting their eyes. You can see here the sannyasis completely getting assaulted by multiple people. Not just by one. There were 4 or 5 people attacking each person, Ma. Yes. And if I can go back to this, I was actually standing right there, and in front of my eyes, this was happening to Mani Anatmananda Swami. It's one of the scenes I will never forget for the rest of my life. And when we thought that we were almost done with this attack on the evening of 7th of June, what actually happened was, we decided, all right, now once again, we can only make this known to the officials and to the innocent public so that justice will prevail. So let us call for another press conference where we explain, this time we will somehow stop the entry of such vicious elements, and we will explain what happened on the 7th of June and what we had to undergo, just the previous day. So we thought we will call for another press conference on the 8th of June. And therefore, what we did, we called for a press conference on the 8th of June. And of course, for this press conference, we could not afford to have Swamiji on stage. His life was already under attack on the 7th. And therefore, on the 8th of June, we decided as sannyasis, we will present to the people, to the innocent public, what happened the previous day. And therefore, we once again called for a press conference on the 8th of June. And now I'm going to be sharing with you what happened on the 8th when we called for the press conference. And you will not believe it, Ma Purna Priya, the way they assaulted us. They would pick up the metal chain dividers that we had in the meditation hall where the press conference was going on, where you had the metal chain dividers to separate the male and female gender, to give more organized sitting for the two. They just picked all that up in their hands and actually smashed it on our heads and smashed it on our bodies. They took the chain and beat us with the chains. They took the circular metal dividers, metal dividers, and hit us with it. And they were carrying rods in their hands. They beat us with the rods. All this on women, mind you. So this was on the morning of, yes, ma'am.
And then after this, they accused you guys in the news channels. They're accusing you of beating them.
Yes, which is what happened on the 8th. I'm coming to that now in just a few minutes. So after the murderous attack of the previous evening, we had to tell the people about it so that they know what is happening inside the campus. Because what met their eyes, the commentary that went, the false headlines that went, was a complete fake news, right? So we had to tell them what the reality was. So we called for the press conference at around 8:11 a.m. the following day on the 8th of June. And the sad thing was, Ma, even before Bhagwan could present the medical records of the false rape accuser and convey to the people the purpose of the press conference, even before he did that, the attack started. Of course, that was the planned strategy, so that will never be able, we will never be able to deliver it to the people, and the people will never get it straight in their heads. They will be kept in false opinions, false judgments, wrong judgments about Bhagwan and the Kailasa mission. So that was a strategy. So therefore, just within a few minutes of starting off the press conference, the attack was executed. So on the 8th of June, what happened was we called for the press conference, and we just started the press conference. And in just a few minutes, even without our knowledge, actually, these elements had entered again with false press report badges, and they had their weapons inside their outfits, and they had their Karnataka Navanirmana Sena scarves inside their clothes. So we actually completely missed it at the gate, and they were allowed entry even without our knowledge. And so therefore they were inside the hall again. So we had barely started the press conference and started explaining what happened the previous day when the whole attack again started on the 8th. And what happened was they once again sprung up and started assaulting all of us brutally in the press conference hall. And what happened was they started beating and attempting to molest all the female sannyasis. And I still remember I was trying to catch the eye of the camera that was moving around and try to explain to the people. Here you can see, actually, we're all just about starting the press conference. Mm-hmm. We're just telling the invocation prayer before starting to speak. And we're trying to explain to them the truth. And here you can see, minutes later, the attack has broken out. And here they're manhandling our residential Adinavasis and sannyasis. You can see here.
Yes, they didn't even
out with the yellow stars
to speak. And before that, they started attacking and assaulting the women. And Bhakti Swami, you were also there. Can you share your personal experience? What was it that you were going through at that time? Seeing all these people for the second time attacking you.
What I was going through is, Ma, on the...
Yes, continue, Swami.
Yes, Ma. First, it was a complete shock, Ma, that such physical attacks can happen, right? So, and that too when women are involved. I was thinking until then, at least where women are involved, there would be some downplay. But it was a raw truth that hit me at that time. I could not believe what was happening in front of me. I could not believe they could actually stretch their body and arms and beat and touch women on their chests and manhandle women in front of our own eyes in public. They were doing that. You can see now the striped t-shirt person actually physically touching Ma Achalananda Swami on your right. Right? And what went on in my head at that time was, I don't think we can expect any justice from this scene, because if ever there was justice available, this scene would not have happened, or it would have stopped within just a few minutes. And by the time we could even get the police to the scene, as usual, the planned attack was over. And what I was doing is, Ma, what I was going through is, at least let me move around and try to catch the eye of the camera and explain to them that what is happening is an attack on us, not an attack by us, like how the false headlines were already running. But the camera of these media mafia people kept evading me. I was actually getting beaten on one side, and on the other side, I was trying to somehow shout out to the cameras, we are being assaulted. They kept moving the camera away from me because they realized what I was trying to do. And they will not be able to separate out the footage between the attack and my words, right? So they were just continuously moving away from me.
Yes, Ma. And they just wanted to present their narrative.
You can see here.
Us as the attackers, as the violent people, rather than them attacking us and assaulting our females, assaulting our sannyasis, and for no apparent reason other than to create so much of instability and violence within the campus to make sure that others are not staying in the campus and making sure people are leaving and not constantly leaving us in insecurity.
Yes.
So Bhakti Kasami, what happened
in this? Yes. Go ahead, Ma. Please go ahead.
Swami. I was just
okay. We have just a few more minutes to wind up, Ma, before the the next segment is up. So as I told you, the attack in 2012 is too long and too multi-pronged to cover in just one session. So actually, it started on the 7th of June, and it led to 2 illegal arrests of Swamiji, 2 arrests in one attack. We just didn't know what was going on around us. On the one side, the women were being attacked, and we were forced to flee from our own home yet another time. And on the other side, we had to somehow deal with the situation inside the ashram that they had created and the life of Bhagwan, which is the wealth of literally the entire humanity today. The life of an incarnation happens on the planet for the betterment of humanity. And it is the responsibility of a group of individuals to execute that, protect the life. Of course, cosmos itself is protecting. It is Paramashivoham and Kala Bhairava that is protecting. But when some things happen in the human domain, that you need to execute some action on your part also on the side of protection. So on the one side, we were being abused and they were trying to make us flee, all the women. On the other side, we had to protect Swamiji's life. Because mind you, just during the 2012 attack, 2 illegal arrests happened on Swamiji. Because the same Ajit went and filed a false complaint immediately before we could wake up from the attack and go to the police station. He ran to the police station and filed a false complaint with Swamiji's name as the first accused and 16 of our names below that.
Wow.
All of us who got attacked, and went and filed a complaint saying they were out to kill me. We were out to kill him.
Wow.
Right? And so when we went to the police station, his complaint was already filed. Right? It was a real shock to us that
It's 6 o'clock.
that this extent of viciousness, venom could actually, demonism could actually exist.
Yes, Swami.
I think we're time up right now, Ma. Yes.
Yes, we will get more into detail about the illegal arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and 16 women who were attacked that day in June of 2012. So I think we will have to wrap up for today, and we will be back with the same segment tomorrow. Please stay tuned for a live satsang in a few moments. Thank you. Nithyanandam.
Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just
to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
नमो नित्याय धामलेश धूतकोक बंधवे नमो नित्याय नाम सोषिताल मध्वबांधवे नमो नित्याय पामरेतर प्रधान बंधवे नमो नित्याय काल भीत विप्र बाल पालते नमो नित्याय शूल भिन्न दुष्ट दक्ष पालते नमो नित्याय मूल कारणाय दयाल वालते नमो नित्याय इष्ट वस्तु मुख्य दान हेतवे नमो नित्याय दुष्ट दैत्य वंश धूम केतवे नमो नित्याय सृष्टि रक्षणाय धर्म सेतवे नमो नित्याय अष्टमूर्तये वृषेन्द्र केतवे नमो नित्याय आपदत्रिभेद डंक हस्तते नमो नित्याय पापहारि दिव्य सिंधु मस्तते नमो नित्याय पापधारिणे लसन्न मस्तके वक्षपाणि शोभिकाञ्चलालवे नमो नित्याय पक्षिराजवागहृच्छयालवे नमो नित्याय अक्षिपालवेदपूततालवे नमो नित्याय दक्षहस्तनिष्ठजातवेदसे नमो नित्याय अक्षरात्मने नमाध्वडौचसे नमो नित्याय दीक्षितप्रकाशितात्मतेजसे नमो नित्याय अक्षराजवागते सताङ्गते नमो नित्याय राजदाचलेन्द्रसानुवासिने नमो नित्याय राजमान नित्यमन्दहासिने नमो नित्याय राजगौरकावतं सभासिने नमो नित्याय राजराजमित्रता प्रकाशिने नमो नित्याय दीनमानवालिकामधेनवे नमो नित्याय सूनबाणदागकृत्कृशानवे नमो नित्याय रामरागभक्तरत्नसानवे नमो नित्याय दानबन्धकारचण्डभानवे नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द सर्वमङ्गलाकुचाग्रशायिने नमो नित्याय सर्वदेवतागणातिशायिने नमो नित्याय पूर्वदेवनाशसंविधायिने नमो नित्याय सर्वमन्मनोजभङ्गदायिने नमो नित्याय लोकभक्तितोऽपि भक्तपोषिणे नमो नित्याय माकरन्दसारवर्षिभाषिणे नमो नित्याय एकबिल्वदानतोऽपि तोषिणे नमो नित्याय नैकजन्म पापजालशोषिणे नमो नित्याय सर्वजीवरक्षणैकशीलिने नमो नित्याय कीर्तनप्रियाय भक्तपालिने नमो नित्याय दुर्विदग्धदैत्यसैन्यधारिणे नमो नित्याय शर्वरीशधारिणे कपालिने नमो नित्याय पाहि मामुमामनोज्ञ देवते नमो नित्याय देहि मे वरं सिताद्रिगेहते नमो नित्याय मोहितर्षिकामिनी समोहते नमो नित्याय स्नेहितप्रसन्नकामदोहते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द मङ्गलप्रदाय गोतुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय गङ्गयातरङ्गितोत्तमाङ्गते नमो नित्याय सङ्गरप्रवृत्तवैरिभङ्गते नमो नित्याय अङ्गजारये करे पुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय ईहितक्षणप्रदानहेतवे नमो नित्याय आहिताग्निपालकोक्षकेतवे नमो नित्याय देहि कान्तिधूतरौप्य धातवे नमो नित्याय गेहदुःखपुञ्ज धूमकेतवे नमो नित्याय रक्षदीन सत्कृपाकटाक्षते नमो नित्याय दक्ष सप्ततन्तुनाश दक्षते नमो नित्याय रूक्षराजभानुपावकाक्षते नमो नित्याय रक्ष मां प्रपन्नमात्र रक्षते नमो नित्याय व्यङ्कुप्राणये शिवङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय सङ्कटाभितीर्न किङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय पङ्कभीषिता भयङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय पङ्कजाननाय शङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे कर्मपाशनाशनीलकण्ठते नमो नित्याय शर्मदाय वर्यभस्मकण्ठते नमो नित्याय निर्ममर्षिसेवितोपकण्ठते नमो नित्याय गुन्महेन तीर्णमद्विकुण्ठते नमो नित्याय विष्णपाधिपाय नम्र विष्णवे नमो नित्याय शिष्टविप्रहृत्तुकाचरिष्णवे नमो नित्याय इष्टवस्तु नित्यतुष्ट जिष्णवे नमो नित्याय कष्टनाश दिव्यभोगदायिने नमो नित्याय शक्तिकल्पितप्रपञ्चभागिने नमो नित्याय भक्तसङ्कटापहारयोगिने नमो नित्याय युक्तसन्मनस्सरोजयोगिने नमो नित्याय अन्तकान्तकाय पापहारिणे नमो नित्याय शन्तमाय दन्तिचर्मधारिणे नमो नित्याय सन्तताश्रितव्यथाविदारिणे नमो नित्याय जन्तुजात नित्यसौख्यकारिणे नमो नित्याय शूलिने नमो नमः कपालिने नमो नित्याय पालिने विरिञ्चि मुण्डमालिने नमो नित्याय लीलिने विशेषरुण्डमालिने नमो नित्याय शीलिने नमः प्रपुण्यशालिने नमो नित्याय मुक्ति दिव्य भोगदायिने नमो नित्याय शक्तिकल्पित प्रपञ्चभागिने नमो नित्याय भक्तसङ्कटापहारयोगिने नमो नित्याय युक्तसन्मनस्सरोजयोगिने नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे
ओम जय नित्यानंद जय
ॐ नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Mahants, Tanidar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen intensely. Divya Sarira, the body, indestructible, effulgence, which is inside all of us. Please understand, this Divya Sarira is the core component of all of us. There is no person who does not have Divya Sarira. Everyone has a Divya Sarira. How much ever you think you are good or bad, you think you are God or demon, whatever you think, you have a Divya Sarira. That Divya Sarira strengthened, energized, inspired by sattvic food to the body, sattvic food to the mind, sattvic food to the consciousness. Enjoy these three in your life continuously. Don't worry about what should be negated. See, focusing on what need to be negated makes you very depressed, even feeling deprived. Instead, enjoy what need to be gained. Listen. I've always seen in this 40 years of my Chaturmasya, please understand, it has become almost 40 years now, coming Chaturmasya. This Guru Purnima is my 40th Chaturmasya. In my 40 years of Chaturmasya, Chaturmasya is the 4-month vow. Chaturmasya means in Sanskrit, the exact meaning is 4-month. That 4-month vow, sannyasis take to replenish themselves, rejuvenate themselves with this sattvic energy, feeding the body with intense sattvic food, feeding the mind with intense sattvic food. Mind has a beautiful sattvic food. Feeding the consciousness with intense sattvic energy. And strengthening the Divya Sarira. The whole purpose of Chaturmasya is that only. These 4 months focused on that strengthening of the Divya Sarira. See, if the Divya Sarira in you, the self-effulgent light body in you, if that is strong, you are an enlightened being. You enjoy best things of the consciousness, your existence. You enjoy the best gifts of your existence. If that self-effulgent Divya Sarira gets more and more covered, you get deluded, suffer with the external world, delusions, delusion, whatnot, whatever. Now I don't want to get into the negative side description. If you miss strengthening Divya Sarira, what happens? I don't want to waste time on that. I only wanted to describe how to strengthen the Divya Sarira. Self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa, Sutta Sarira, Daiva Sarira. All of us have. The methodologies to strengthen the Divya Sarira and manifest powers of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, and powers of Paramashiva. This truth is the message from Paramashiva directly to the whole humanity. Let me explain this truth, this message. Please understand. Yesterday, many people were asking me, Swamiji, in the pre-satsang, your sannyasis and sannyasinis and whole Kailasa and Sangha is explaining all the persecution you went through and so much of material evidences, facts are presented by them. What they are talking in the pre-satsang yesterday or last few days, and when you come for satsang, what you are speaking means what I am speaking and what they are presenting, both are not even connected. Many people are questioning me. Listen, please understand. They are talking about what unconscious human beings have done to us. I am talking about what Kailasa is giving it to all of you. Please be very clear. My work, my responsibility, my focus for which I happened is to bring the greatest gifts from Mahakailasa, as I said, the ground zero, where decisions are made, where the consciousness is making decisions about the existence. I am straight coming from that space. Straight I am from that space now. So I am sharing what Mahakailasa, Paramashiva wants to share with you all. I am going to give what I need to give it to the world. And what my sannyasis are telling in the pre-satsang hosting, it is true. I have been attacked. My sannyasis have been attacked. My sangha has been attacked. It is true. They are telling what the unconscious humanity has given to us. See, I wanted to share three things with you all. First, what I need to give to the humanity. Gifts from Mahakailasa. The science of enlightenment, the science of power manifestation, the science of becoming superconscious beings. This is the essence of why life happened on planet Earth. Why living beings happened on planet Earth. My purpose is to give superconscious breakthrough for which living beings have happened on planet Earth. So all the gifts, I have so much to give it to all of you. And I tell you, this Aushadha science, the thoughts can be used to program plants, herbs. I have already proved this not only through me, through my Gurukul Balasans. My Balasans can talk to any rose plant for 10 days without touching the rose plant. Make that rose plant drop all their thorns, not one. Hundreds of rose plants under CCTV camera. All my kids do is they go and sit and talk to those plants, relate with those plants, give them the love, feeling secured, energy and consciousness. Those plants just drop the thorns. I have proved this science multiple times, thousands of times, through many of my balasans, in many of my ashrams, and still I can prove, I can demonstrate even now. So this is the science. And now I want to tell you the next level. Any disease, the cure needed for the disease is a conscious energy which need to be inserted into your body, can be programmed into any herb, and that herb can be given to you. You will be healed. It's a science. It's a greater science. This science is called Aushadhi. This is the core science of materia medica of Hindu medicine. Understand? I have learnt this Aushadhi science from my three gurus. My gurus, three of them are masters of this Aushadhi science. Isakki Swami and Kuppammal. I always considered both of them as together, one being, because actually one being used both the bodies. I know for sure. Only one person used both the bodies. And Raghupati Yogi. We even have a beautiful photograph of Raghupati Yogi personally applying an Aushadha on one of his disciple. The disciple, I think, is from outside India, abroad. He had some paralytic attack. Just only in 3 days, my Guru has healed him completely with Aushadha and Narayana Swami Tata. These three masters of this Aushadha science gave me this knowledge. Of course, ultimately, Arunagiri Yogeshwara Paramashiva himself showered the whole experience and expertise. Listen. Herbs can be programmed. Plants can be programmed. Consciously programmed. This is the Hindu materia medica science. If somebody, it is 100 times more than getting any MBBS, MD or anything. Unfortunately, Hindus neither understood nor recognized due to the continuous persecution done on them, genocide done on them. All the knowledge of the Hindu tradition was destroyed, and even Hindus are made to lose confidence on the knowledge. And after a few generations of brainwashing, even Hindus feel all these are false, and they attack the Hindu gurus who are trying to revive all these great truths. It's like some part of your own body destroying your body, like autoimmune disorder. Hindus have been infected by the anti-Hindu elements with the autoimmune disorder. Part of your own body destroys your body. Like HIV virus, this AIDS. That kind of a mental setup has been infused. Consciousness has been infused into Hindus. And unfortunately, due to this hundreds of years of persecution and making sure all this knowledge not available to common Hindus, this all made to look like a myth, fake stories, legend, or maybe long before, thousands of years before this science was there, but now it is not there, or it is not possible to revive. All these kind of ideas are inserted into the common Hindus' minds. And anybody who is trying to establish, revive the science is beaten black and blue and destroyed. See, unfortunately, Hindus lost the understanding about this collective integrity. See, if a ship has to stay afloat, all the mechanisms in that ship need to stay integrated. It can be the maintenance engineer or the cleaning staff, captain, all the equipments fixed in the ship, everything, the machineries, and all human beings, all of them need to be integrated for the ship to stay afloat. A maintenance supervisor cannot say, I have done my job, but the cleaning staff is not doing his job. What can I do? Anyhow, if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed because I have done my job. If a maintenance engineer thinks he is a fool because when the ship sinks, he is also going to die. Not only is going to lose his job, he is going to lose his life. Please see the photograph of my Guru, Raghupati Yogi, applying Aushadha on a patient and healing him from stroke. Maybe he had a stroke and some problem in his spine. So Raghupati Yogi applied the Aushadha and healed him completely. I have seen the Raghupati Yogi's love and compassion. Now listen, let me tell you. For the ship to stay afloat and reach the place where it need to reach, everyone in the ship need to be integrated. It's called collective integrity. A maintenance engineer cannot think, oh, I have done my job, but the fuel manager is not doing his job, or the cleaning person is not doing his job. So if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed. I will not be questioned. I am safe. Let whatever happens to others, or whatever others do or don't do, what is there for me. That level of integrity will not work for the ship to stay afloat. This is exactly done by the Hindus. In the modern day, everyone says, oh, I have tried my best. I have done my best. But others are not doing. What can I do? I have seen this as a typical mold. Same narrative. Whether it comes to reclaiming the political legitimacy of the Hindus, or reclaiming their temples, or reclaiming their organizations and religious freedom, or any guru's organizations running. Please understand, any problem Hindus are facing, still being the slave. Please be very clear. Any Hindu not living under the Hindu constitution is a slave. This is a definition. How the Muslims are very clear. If you are not living under the Islamic law, Islamic constitution, you are a slave. So be very clear. Hindus should understand, if you are not living under Hindu constitution and Hindu law, if you are not living somewhere, please listen. Let me put it very clearly. If you are living in a place where Veda Agamas are the constitution and Manusmriti is the jurisprudence, you can freely declare, you can openly declare, you are a free Hindu. You are a Hindu with freedom to practice Hinduism. Anyone living anywhere where the Veda Agamas are not constitution and Manusmriti is not jurisprudence, you are a slave. At least realize it. Wake up to the truth, reality. What you should do, all that I don't know. I'll at least tell the truth. At least wake up to the truth. Be very clear about it. So whether you ask the Hindus, why are you living a slavery life? Why you don't have a religious freedom? Why your temples are not under you, it's under the government? Why your temple wealth is not used for running gurukuls, the Hindu schools? Why your temple wealth is not being used to develop and spread Hindu medicines? The most funny thing, many of the so-called Hindu ashrams and Hindu organizations run Christian medical institutions. They are not realizing we have a great Hindu medical science. Because the Hindu medical science is neither given legal legitimacy nor given social legitimacy. It's always under constant threat. Even though the Hindu medicinal system is its depth and breadth, everything is far more than any other medical system in the world. "2,000 years before, our guys have performed cosmetic surgery. The Hindu doctors and Hindu medical visionaries like Shushruta, many of the Hindu surgeons if we have developed our science and retained what we developed, today the Hindu medicine would have been the most powerful, and Hindu medicine is always about the healing and cure. It has nothing to do with monetizing. See, the Hindu medicine is kept in pure form without economical agendas and political agendas. By being kept with the Brahmanas, neither the economical agendas of the Vaishyas can interfere, nor the political agendas of the Kshatriyas can interfere with the Hindu medicinal system. The whole knowledge was vested with the Brahmanas. And please, all of you understand, when I talk about the Varna, it is based on the quality of a person, not by birth. You ask any question to Hindus, why your medical system, Hindu medicinal system is destroyed? Why you guys are not having any respect for the greatest and oldest jurisprudence, the Hindu law Manusmriti? Everyone will have one answer. Oh, I am done, I am doing whatever I can, but others are not doing. What can I do? Exact answer. A maintenance engineer in a ship, if he gives, what will happen to the ship? That exactly same thing is happening to these guys. We need Hindus to start thinking with a collective integrity. Not only I will do my job as maintenance engineer, I will make sure the fuel manager does his job as fuel manager. And cleaning person does his job as a cleaning person. We need that kind of an ecosystem for Hinduism to be revived. I decided very clearly that can be done only in a place where we have political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the grace of Paramashiva, I got a place. Maybe small, but I got a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty for Hinduism. Hindu nation, Kailasa. Only in this place, this collective integrity ecosystem can be built. A maintenance engineer spends 60% of his working time for his job and the other 40% to integrate with other teams and make sure the other teams are also in integrity so the ship stays afloat. And I tell you, many of my Adinavasis who are still there in Adi Kailash or in our ashram, or some of the Adinavasis who left, many of them are highly integrated. Unfortunately, they are not trained in this vision, science of collective integrity. See, many of them are very highly integrated. They say, I have done my job. I am very integrated. Swamiji knows. What can I do if others are not doing? That is not going to bring the result. If a maintenance engineer, even if he is highly integrated, and he doesn't care about the fuel manager properly adding fuel to the ship engines, the ship is going to sink. And maintenance engineer may not be blamed, but he is going to lose his job and life. Many of the individually integrated people in my Sangha missed this truth. Only with the collective integrity, the ship can stay afloat. If not, you may not be blamed because you have been integrated. But the final result is not going to happen. You are also going to lose your job and life both. Thoroughly understood. Hindus have been beaten too long. And maximum, they have the energy only to be individually integrated. They don't have energy to manage the collective integrity. So only the captain has to be responsible for the collective integrity. The collective integrity, education and evolving a structure with a collective integrity. For reviving Hinduism, we need a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the blessings of Paramashiva, Ganapati, Kalabhairava, all the gods and goddesses of Kailasa, Bhuma Devi, we got a place for Kailasa with the political sovereignty and legitimacy. We have a place. More than one place, actually. We have a place now, more than one place. I tell you, I have to do it. I cannot waste time in blaming, in cursing. I don't have time for that. I'm already 43. I have to do it. Of course, the grace of Paramashiva, we did it. We have a place now. The base is ready. Now the collecting the individuals and organizing. Even now I can see I have amazing individuals who are so highly dedicated and integrated to me. I can name every one in front of me. If you see the integrity of Ma Divyananda, she is equivalent to a Nayanmar. Push Murugai and Saras Murugai. Sumati, Ma Parameshwara, Karunananda, Ma Paramananda. I can go on reading everybody. I tell you, I never praise Ma Pranapriya, her integrity. If I need a kidney, I don't need, I will never need, I am very healthy and I am going to live a healthy life. I am giving you, for example, if I need a kidney, I will take only from Ma Pranapriya. Because she will not even repent 1 second, oh, I gave my kidney to Swamiji. That kind of integrity. But this individual's integrity will not be enough. We need collective integrity. There are so many people who gave their life to me, not just their wealth. They will even give a body organ to me if I need. If I need a kidney, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. If I need an eye, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. I have such highly integrated, dedicated, devoted people. But unfortunately, none of them understand that it is a collective integrity which is needed to make Kailasa successful. Not just individual integrity. Everyone is so happy and satisfied and fulfilled. I am individually integrated to Swamiji. Hey, that is not enough. I am telling you now. Pushp and Saras Murugai. I am giving you an example. Saras Murugai and Pushp Murugai. They gave all their wealth to me. Sarvavari Tyagis. Not even 1 second they even felt did they do right or wrong. They know for sure giving everything to Swamiji is the ultimate right best thing. As I told, if I take a kidney from Ma Prana Priya for me, not even 1 second she will repent or think, or she will not even have a second thought. Did I do right or wrong by giving my kidney to Swamiji? Never ever she will have a second thought. I have such highly integrated people. You see, these few names I uttered because they are in front of my eyes. And I have long list. The names I have not uttered. But unfortunately, none of them understand just the individual integrity is not enough for the ship to stay afloat. It is collective integrity that is required. Pranapriya will not have any problem to give her kidney to me. She will not even have a second thought. But she cannot go for rounds all over the campus and make everyone work and keep everyone's integrity. Because she doesn't understand. It is collective integrity that keeps a ship stay afloat. Same way Saras Murugai. She will work 24/7 for me. But she cannot ask the other people in the team to work. I tell you, this is one of the biggest curse Hindus are suffering. Everyone feels, oh, I am integrated, I will do what I need to do. Others are not doing, what can I do? It is captain's responsibility in making collective integrity happen, everyone to be integrated, not mine. Sometimes people in the ship, one side maintenance team enjoys the other side maintenance team failing, thinking, oh, see how we are victorious now, they are failing, and that side of the ship, such big holes are happening. Hey, if the water comes in and the ship sinks, all of you are going to die. Why don't you understand? Hindus lack this understanding. In every level, whether, see, a major 100 problems of Hindus, if you list, their temples are not in their hands. All the income, money comes to the temple. For spreading Hinduism is not used for that purpose. And all the wealth dedicated and donated for Hinduism by their ancestors is not used for that purpose. Somebody was telling me the other day, I'm not talking about one state or any one country, and I don't interfere in any country's internal administration and all that. I am talking to Hindus to wake up. Wherever you are suffering slavery, you need to understand. Many of the wealth dedicated by their ancestors to revive and maintain Hindu arts, Hindu medicine, Hindu spiritual truths, the wealth is not being used. Whether it's a political slavery or the persecution Hindus suffering or not having the religious freedom to own their religious worship places in their control, not having the freedom to practice their religion as they want, as the agamas, their religious scriptures describe, not able to maintain and hold their religious organizations or religious wealth under them. You ask any question, any problem to any Hindu thinkers, think tanks, Hindu organizations, Hindu leaders, Hindus, whether common Hindu or Hindu thinkers, ask them, any of them, these questions. Why the Hindu gurus are being attacked left, right, center through the hate speech, and systematically the Hindu organizations are pulled down, collapsed, and why Hindus are keeping quiet without defending the Hindu gurus who are the... See, Hindu gurus are attacked to destroy Hinduism. Please understand, the anti-Hindu elements, their goal, their aim is Hinduism. Because the Hindu gurus are defending Hinduism and promoting Hinduism, they are being attacked. And Hindus are not waking up to this truth. You ask any of these questions, this top 100 questions, top 100 problems. You list top 100 problems of the Hindus. Getting bullied in the cyberspace. So much of cyber bullying. All the major social media organizations are anti-Hindu. Racist. So much cyberbullying, racist attacks on Hindus. They don't have their temples under their control. Their gurus are being attacked left, right, center. Every day one guru is pulled down with false accusations, false cases, lawfare, hate speech, very systematically. List all these 100 problems and ask these questions. Everyone will say, oh, I am doing whatever I can. But others are not doing. What can we do? We need Hindu leaders who understand collective integrity truth. It is collective integrity which is going to keep the ship stay afloat. Even if you have only 10 people in your team, if you are able to make that whole team collective integrity, your Kailasa will be successful. You can be head of a Kailasa and it will be successful. I tell you, in every level, I have to do my responsibility. In my responsibility, things to do list, foremost, first priority is to bring all the great superconscious gifts from Kailasa and share it with you all. That's my first priority. As I told, strengthening your Divya Sarira with the right methodologies, making your body sattvic through yoga, right aushadha and sattvic food, making your mind sattvic and powerful through completion, unclutching, nirvikalpa samadhi, making your consciousness powerful by that sattvic Paramashivananda, introducing literally the existence, conscious existence of Paramashiva. You just know Paramashiva is alive and he is in me. He is sitting alive, blissful, with his broad Swarupa. Paramashiva Paramburul, knowing he is alive in you. Makes your consciousness sattvic. My first and foremost responsibility is to bring these great gifts to all of you. And to bring these gifts to all of you and share it with all of you, making all of you enlightened and enjoy. This is my first and foremost responsibility, and this is my first priority. My second priority, second work is making all my Sangha, people who have given their life to me, making them understand the great truth of collective integrity. As I told, I have the best people, most dedicated. One of the most sweetest message I received in last few days is Akhil Kodali sending me message, Swamiji, please come to Satsang. I miss you too much. Arey, I could not control my laughter. Actually, this message from Akhil Kodali has put such a wide smile on my face. Hey, this fellow having so much romance and love. I tell you, I have best people around me. Akhil will give anything he has for me, will not even think he has given that to me. He will literally feel he is enjoying that through me. That kind of a love. I have such highly integrated people. But unfortunately, all of them need to understand the importance of collective integrity. It is only the collective integrity which will keep the ship afloat, successful. Write 108 times collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity. Not selective integrity or individual integrity alone. Individual integrity is okay, good. But it is collective integrity. Only that can keep the ship afloat and successful. My second responsibility is making my Sangha, Kailasa, all the people who gave their life to me, who gave their individual integrity to me, making them realize collective integrity's importance. I think in all our ashram, in every room, we should put a small board beautifully. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Not just individual integrity. So, the people who are working in accounts department, distributing money, and the people who are working in Goshala and keeping the Goshala clean and cows healthy, happy, and the people who are doing the agriculture and growing the herbs, and people who are doing puja in the temple, everyone need to have integrity to keep the ship afloat. The collective integrity only will keep the ship afloat. Making the people who declared their integrity to me, making them realize the importance of collective integrity. I have some people highly dedicated, like Sri Shanta Priyananda. He will be absolutely obedient to Guru Vak. Anything I say, he will simply obey. But complete loose, cranky. He cannot even talk to others. Make a simple coordination. Even simple coordination he cannot do. Sri Shanta Priyananda, write 108 times. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Collective integrity makes the Kailasa successful. Collective integrity only will make my life successful. if one department fails, then be very clear, everyone is going to not only lose the job, lose the life, because the ship is going to sink. In all our ashrams, all our temples, all our monasteries, all our gurukuls, we should have a clear board. Almost like every hall, every room, even the devotee's house where you are literally living like an extended Kailasa, you should put a board. It is collective integrity that makes your life and Kailasa successful. People who can make collective integrity successful are the leaders. Working with others, whatever need to be done, making it happen. My second responsibility is teaching my Kailasa people the collective integrity. Third, my third work is making Hindus aware how they are being cheated, exploited, destroyed, hit, persecuted. I tell you, one of the worst thing is Hindus are not even realizing they are being persecuted, they are under siege. Very active war is going on. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking, dying religion. Sorry for using the word dying. Fastest shrinking religion. Go and see the statistics. Don't try to come and kambusutufai here. Go and see the statistics. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking religion. Just see last 100 years track record. You will understand what I am saying. These three are my important responsibilities. Let me do my first responsibility. Inspiring, initiating, making all of you understand in every level working with your body, with your mind, with your consciousness, and experiencing Divya Sarira, the divine conscious body, understand these few principles. These few principles which I am going to share with you all now are like universal. Sarvabhaumya. Vrataha. These are like universal vows, universal principles. Satvik means anything which awakens the qualities of consciousness in you, like extreme love, fulfillment. I tell you, when I manifest from Samadhi, the kind of the love and joy, excitement, intensity I feel, actually this withdrawing from the society, I am enjoying like anything. I am basically a loner. Enjoys is aloneness. I don't feel intimidated or disturbed by the crowd. Thousands coming. No, I don't feel disturbed. It's not that I hate people. No. But I enjoy my space just being with me in Samadhi. It is such an extraordinary living joy, living experience of bliss, not imagination, theory, visualization, fantasy. No. Living. How? You feel you are alive in your body. Bliss is a living experience for me in Samadhi. It is just alive. Anything infuses that bliss, alive, as living experience in you is sattva. That is what I call good food. Good food is sattva. Sattva is the good food. am getting so many questions now alive. The live questions. Bhushanananda is asking, Dear Swamiji, what more can I do to keep the boat afloat? Bhushanananda, first drop all your fears, delusion. Go back to Adi Kailash. Decide your life is to keep the collective integrity. Sincere decision, intention to keep the collective integrity is enough. That will inspire everyone. Please understand, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, all over the world, whether it is a Adi Kailasa or Salem or Biddi or Tiruvannama, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, naturally, they have declared their individual integrity to me. They don't need to be inspired. They need to see others are also working for collective integrity. So let me also work for collective integrity. That's all. We just need few examples who are sincerely working for collective integrity. Then everyone will simply decide, yes, collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity keeps the boat afloat. Keeps the ship afloat. They just need few examples who are sincere to work for collective integrity. Bhushanananda, go to Adi Kailasa, be an example. Through your sincerity, show that you want everyone to come to collective integrity. Constantly holding the space, talking to everyone, reaching out to everyone, inspiring everyone, educating everyone about the collective integrity and how only collective integrity is going to make the ship afloat. Individual integrity alone is not enough to keep the ship afloat. You realizing and making everyone realize, that will only make the ship afloat. Bhushanananda, I know you are integrated to me individually, but you need to work for collective integrity. That is what is the real leader. Leader is a person who works for collective integrity. Not just individually integrated. As I said, I have many people who will just be happily ready to donate their kidney for me, but cannot go around and inspire others, ask others, work with others, and make others also integrated and make the collective integrity. I'm just seeing all the questions, live questions. Everyone is asking, how can we make the collective integrity happen? Actually, there is no manual for it. You need to start working with people. You need to start listening to people. You need to start bringing completion with yourself and with people. You need to start building team. We have a clear process manifesting everyone's reality. That used to be the syllabus for inner awakening 4th level. We had inner awakening level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, where everyone's vision, ambition is shared and everyone tries to help to make everyone's vision into reality. So that should become the ecosystem, the collective integrity should become the ecosystem. Any Kailasa where the collective integrity become ecosystem, that Kailasa will be successful. That's all. Maybe you can all think about collective integrity and have a Vakyartha Sadas about collective integrity. Not having collective integrity is the source reason and sole reason for all the problems of the Hindus. Any Kailasa brings collective integrity as the ecosystem will be successful and solve all problems of Hindus. See, when a collective integrity is brought, everyone in the team will be successful. Everyone will be successful. Simple, super determinism to have a collective integrity brings collective integrity. That's what I am doing. How much I am attacked, abused from externally and even from internally, how many ways I have been attacked. But super determinism to keep the collective integrity, that made the Kailasa successful. Kailasa happened. That is making the Kailasa stay afloat and successful. Let's do Vakyartha Sadas on this and bring all your questions. I'll answer all those questions tomorrow in the next satsang live. The next live satsang. I don't want to say tomorrow. Next live satsang. And also we will start the Parashakti, Paramashakti, Devi Bhava Darshan and Akashic readings. Soon. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all work on this collective integrity. Let's all radiate with collective integrity also. Integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, the Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावरूढ
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvanasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones, ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing life. Playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explains what is power manifestation. Power manifestation is becoming alive, being alive, and cognitive shift to make you being alive and auspiciousness and abundance. And here Bhagavan gives a science of power manifestation. It is a science because it is repeatable and all of us can manifest it. And science has all the evidences to manifest the superconscious space in us. All the human beings can manifest the superconscious being. The science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. The scriptural references. Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. The Apta Pramana, experience and the results of the Aptas. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them are authority of Hinduism who have manifested from human to superconscious being, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatars, personal experience of each power manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leelas, mapping to the Shastra and as per the Apta Pramana, Bhagavan has manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. Shakshi Pramana, millions of disciple, devotees, followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva initiated by Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan has beautifully said, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, I myself will be manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. So beautifully, Bhagavan has given all the pramanas for us to understand that we can manifest the powers of Paramashiva, the Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study, measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. It is clearly seen that in the superconscious space, your thoughts are completely zero and you are working from a different dimension, the conscious space, where manifestation becomes literally quantum space of manifesting the reality. Bhagavan has beautifully given the Shastra Pramana. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are from the Veda Agamas. This is from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness. Bhairava, one who experiences consciousness beyond the mind. Tantra is the method. How you have a science lab, math lab. You have certain steps to manifest the powers, manifest the reality, whatever the science experiment is. Same way Bhagavan has given beautifully the Shastra Pramana for us to understand how we can become the superconscious being. All we know, it exists. Quantum entanglement exists. Mirroring neuron exists. And all these are possibilities. Now, how do we experience those possibilities as our reality? That is what Bhagavan gives as Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 2020, Dharana 95.
The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachit vastuni vinyasya shanair-drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Kvachit vastuni vinyasya shanair-drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from that object as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of the object with the thoughts and impression. And then, O Devi, one abides in Sunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exists, which is the state of all inclusiveness and infinity. That is exactly Bhagavan says, all inclusiveness. That is what we are, the collective integrity, understanding that everything that exists is form of Paramashiva, Parashakti. All that we are seeing, perceiving is only the forms of Paramashiva or Parashakti manifesting as reality. When we understand that everything is a blessing for us to experience the oneness and manifest our reality. We are, Bhagavan says, we are driving like in a car which doesn't have a steering wheel nor a brake. And we are stuck not knowing what and how. Suddenly things just throw us out of the path. And then we realize, oh my God, what has happened to my life? And then we wake up to the reality. Why is things not fine? Why things are happening not fine for me only? And all kinds of negative thoughts starts settling in us and then destroy our mind, destroy our body. All the stress that we go through simply comes as a reaction in our body and completely destroys the body. While Bhagavan beautifully says how you can exist as the space of oneness, which will make you understand the higher reality. Sudama was a pure Brahmin who was completely not having food to eat. His children's, there's no food, there's no care, there's nothing. And he was always in the space of Krishna. So his wife packs up some flattened rice and in a small piece of cloth and sends him to see Krishna. But she doesn't ask anything. She only holds that space that Krishna will know, seeing him, how much in poverty he is. So when he goes to Krishna, Sudama inquires about Krishna, how Krishna is. As though he is doing so fine, he is asking how Krishna is. And he is like worried about Krishna. If he has taken care of himself, how did he do everything? And there Krishna was overjoyed by the space that Sudama is, that he is only overflowing only with Krishna, forgetting even the body that he has or the cloth he has or the children he has, anything that is not part of his agenda. The only space he was in is Krishna. Krishna was so happy and he starts eating the flattened rice. And the more he started eating the flattened rice, more wealth started happening for Sudama's house. And Rukmani then stops. Enough, enough, that's enough. What you have eaten, that's lot of things you have already given. It is some small gesture of deep gratitude which brings abundance and overflows with all the auspiciousness. That is what Bhagavan again and again shows us when we are in collective integrity, that everything that exists is only the ultimate. Paramashiva, everything we look at it as matter, then everything will be only as matter, and everything will be projected as incompletion, as impossibilities, and all kinds of struggle. But when we look at everything as Paramashiva, everything as auspiciousness, everything as abundance, our life also starts overflowing with all that beautiful space. Again and again, that oneness space of Paramashiva manifest as reality. That is what here beautifully Bhagavan says. When you withdraw the sight from that object, whatever you know as object is a matter, and the knowledge of the object, which is also matter, and thoughts and impression, which is also again the matter. If you remove everything, then what is there in that object? The only thing that is there in the object is consciousness. Everything is made of the building blocks of everything is consciousness. How a child plays with a clay dough, and if it loses a hand, the child will start crying and come and give the hand and the doll to the parent, and then the parent fixes it. Same way, how we are continuously holding the incompletion of the pain and the struggle we are going through, not understanding that we are very building block of us is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself is manifesting through us. If we are breathing, if we are seeing everything that exists is Paramashiva. All other things that we perceive is also different forms, different shapes, different colors of Paramashiva. And simply each and everything, if you start holding that Paramashiva space, you are in the collective integrity. More and more, when Krishna told Uddhava said, what is the last thing you want to tell? If you're going to leave and go, then what do I live on? And Krishna says, just hold one thing. Everybody you see as Krishna. That's all you need to do. And simply you will be in the enlightened space. All that we need to hold again and again is everything and everybody that we are experiencing is nothing but the reflection of us in different forms. Reflection of the Paramashiva in us as different forms. Bhagavan beautifully says the Guru comes in our life to show who we are. Again, he says, I am like a mirror who just projects the Paramashiva space in you to show you that who you are. That is what is the beautiful completion that happens in us. Bring the completion in us, bring the completion in all others, and simply you will be in bliss. Duryodhana, the Apta Pramana for the power of silicon. Duryodhana was very jealous of Pandavas, and he thought Bhima was the strength of Pandava, and he wanted to kill him. So he added poison in his favorite sweet and he gave him. And Duryodhana gave the sweets, and Bhima ate that sweet unknowingly and fell unconscious. This is from Mahabharata, Adi Parva, page 268-269. And then he took the weeds and tied the weeds and threw him into Ganga. In Ganga, there were some snakes which bit Bhima. Bhima did not get killed, but actually he woke up from unconsciousness and he was searching for what is going on. And the snakes were so shocked, they said, you are the only human survived this. Let me take you to the chief, Aryaka. Then he takes him to the chief, and the chief was so excited. He said, stay here few days. And he gives a magical drink, which is giving him the strength of 10,000 elephants. He became only the stronger by holding the oneness with Krishna all the time. Bhima was one of the very devoted person with just holding that Krishna space. He was only manifesting more and more strength in his body. Whatever we are, we become stronger in that when we align to the highest reality of oneness with Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully explains in the Kailash courtyard how we can experience all this bliss. Bhagavan himself narrates,
or memory, hard drive, means laptop, iPad, cell phone, anything which runs by electrical and that electronics energy. Just 3-4 days before, I was just trying to play with my iPad, whether that is listening to me. I said, it started just listening to me. I said, this app switch off, it gets off. Without typing the password, open, it opens. And I just said, go to this app store, went and download the messenger, downloaded. It was continuously doing. Then I decided, let me convert this into software and initiate as a power to everyone. Very casually only I did. And also by tomorrow you guys will be having a software. I'm preparing it. Any battery, you just hold in your hand, it will be charged. Any battery. From the air, it will produce energy. Actually, I have done it already. I am converting that into a software. That work is going on. Maybe today, after initiation, I'll be in Samadhi. That time I'll finish that software work. Actually, whenever I am in Samadhi, I do all this software writing. This power software writing. And I have also tightened and closed all the loops, loose ends in this rain software. So rain is related to length, breadth, depth, all the three. It was too much for many of you guys to swallow yesterday. It was too strong. So I have completed all the, tightened all the loose ends. Today you guys will see. It really becomes 100% success. The rain power, the power over the Vatavarana, after tightening all the loose ends. That is one. Second, any gadgets which runs electrically, electronically, you will be able to control it by will. Operate it, do anything you want with will. Two things. This Jnananjanam I will send it, all of you have. And after having, I will initiate you guys. Then, the first step, where you are supposed to bring rain, write that, tip it under the Krishna Shila, give instruction and leave it. Leave it for 42 minutes. That time don't waste, start playing with the gadgets. Give the instruction and keep the Krishna Shila. Once you give the instruction, that is enough. It does not need to be constantly followed up. You only need to follow up that place, what is happening there. Then pick up any electronic objects you want to play, just put it on the Krishna Shila. Let the Nithyananda Paramashivam participants ask what the Balasant should do. You pen down the instruction, your request. The Balasant will do that. You give that instruction, it will do. Any object, it does not need to be only Balasant's objects, Balasant's iPhones. You keep your iPhone, they will open it. It will open, it will get switched on, it will download the apps or delete whatever you want, you write and give them. Always all your requests should be in writing. And then after they perform, you tick or cancel. Any command, only 3 minutes. If it takes more than 3 minutes, cancel, means they are not done it. Go for the next command. Any command only maximum 3 minutes. The rain only 42 minutes. If it is more than 42 minutes, crash, it has not happened, go for the next. Second, start the next place. Understand? So that is the way the fluttering will settle down. And it will become part of your biomemory. There were some of the loose ends, means I should say it was too much for your biomemory to grasp. It was too big bite. So many of the biomemories, it got stuck in the throat and unable to digest. First of all, even you are not able to, many of you guys are not able to grasp that it is possible. If you are integrated to that core, that's enough. You will manifest powers. You see, if you sat with your Balasant 3 times, if they have made the rain happen, then the entanglement as Shakti Nipada has happened with you. Now you can start. For example, 3 of you are sitting with one Balasant. If that Balasant has made 3 times rain happen, all 3 of you now you can start with your Krishna Shilas. You will start manifesting. 3 times is enough time for the Shakti Nipada to happen to you. Same way these gadgets. If you see them, if you are sitting with them and 5 commands they are making it successful, Shakti Nipada has happened to you, now you can start. Because you are not that strong to protect you from Shakti Nipada more than certain period. Once they make 3 times rain happen, immediately your core opens up for the Shakti Nipada. If 5 times you see your Balasant successfully making the commands on the electronic objects, then you can start doing, it will work. It will work for you. That much Shakti Nipada only is required. This is almost like a second Garbha Mandir. Structured form, like a Surya, sun. His son is Sunny. Sunny is his son. Sometimes the part you deny comes and appears as your son. And Surya's one wife, Usha, means is light. Chaya, all is self-hatred. Shade is opposite to the light. See, all is self-love comes as Usha. Self-hatred comes as Chaya. So the whole Graha structure is nothing but our integrity, authenticity, completion, responsibility and enriching's expression. Maybe when I find time, I will sit and explain in detail and give you guys a session on that. Yes. All you guys settle down and close your eyes for a few minutes. I'll finish the initiation. You can open your eyes. You can start manifesting both the powers now. So now the Nithyananda Yogam participants can decide where the rain should happen. You can even keep 2-3 places, no problem. Write as a slip, but find out there should not be weather forecast there. Make sure there is no weather forecast there. Rain. You see, under one Krishnashila, one Balasan can keep even 2-3 places. That's not a problem. But the Balasan should visualize all the 2-3 places and give instruction. So Sadashiva says in one place, even drinking alcohol, the karma will not be carried once the liver is destroyed. Means it will not come to you in the next Janma mandal. And each of the vows you take, whether during the marriage or during the other kind of initiations, the vows are taken on Jadaragni, means the Agni, fire in the stomach. Once that settles, over. That sins related to that does not come with you. The breaking of those vows does not come with you. It is left here. For example, if I have to give example, you take a vow on the Jadaragni that I will not steal others' things, but you steal. The karma will not come to you in the next Janma. It will come only as long as the Jadaragni is alive. Once the Jadaragni goes away, means once you are dead, during the death, Jadaragni is taken away. So after that, the karma doesn't come. For example, on Jadaragni only you take the marriage vows. All the Saptapadi is taken on Jadaragni in Agama. So if you break the marriage vows, karma does not come to you in the next Janma mandal. Once the Jadaragni goes away, it goes away. That's all. It doesn't come after that. But if you miss the integrity with the Guru, that goes into biomemory and gets carried to Janmas. Gets carried to Janmas. Understand? Because the relationship with Guru is biomemory level. Deepest level. It's a level of relationship and level of commitment only based on that, how much of what karma comes with you and what karma does not come with you. Nothing else. Property means ownership is not recognized in cosmos. This is mine, that is yours. That is not recognized in cosmos. That is recognized only in the local law. Marriage is not recognized in cosmos. It's not recognized in cosmos. It's only recognized in your locality and in your society. But integrity is recognized to the cosmos. It is the spindle on which the lokas circulate. Lokas spin around. Understand? You all need to know, the Vedic tradition says, the universe, you know, is going around the earth. This is the sun, this is the earth. Earth is going around the sun physically. Means the timing you know. But cosmically, if you see billion year, sun is also going around. Sun itself is going around. This is billion year, it is 1 year. That is why you always think about the 1 year and forget this billion year. Based on this only the yugas are counted. Understand? The whole universe, the spindle, Standila is planet Earth, because only here consciousness is alive. The spindle, you guys know only about the horizontal universe. In the vertical universe, this is the spindle. Below Batala, Adala, Sudala, Talatala, Batala, Bhu. The whole thing you know is Bhu. The whole Milky Way, everything is Bhu. Above, Bhuva, Swa, Tapa. In this whole spindle, the spindle goes through the planet Earth. That is why the Upanishads and Vedas say planet Earth is the center and everything goes round. So the whole thing you know
End of the day, in billion year goes round the planet Earth. Earth is flat as per Vedas, because whatever you know as Bhu is called as Earth in Vedic tradition. Not just this planet Earth, this ball. Whatever you know, the whole Milky Way is called as planet Earth called as Bhu in Vedic tradition. Earth is flat as for the Veda is right. Because the definition of Bhu is not this planet. All the grahas you know put together is the Milky Way is described as Bhu in Vedic tradition. That is flat.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explains how we are structured and how the Bhu exists. Now, let's go to the manifesting of powers of silicon power. How Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, you can see how they have increased the battery just by power of third eye. Today we are going to play with the silicon power. This was happening in the Kailash courtyard, where the kids used to play, sending messages, sending pictures, all kinds of things was possibility in presence of Bhagavan. Here in Kailash courtyard also, presence of Bhagavan, all of us can experience why he is talking about the Bhu. The silicon is the sand, which is the beautiful energy of the Mother Earth. And simply anything you say, the Mother simply listens to us. So that is why Bhagavan is beautifully explaining how it all functions. If we know the higher understanding, how it is all related to the basic integrity. Integrity is not just doing things on time, but integrated to your higher self. That is what Bhagavan is saying. When you get integrated to higher self, you can understand these dimensions and these possibilities. We happen to be just as humans who just come, live and get bored, tired, get disease and die. And even death, Bhagavan says, death and birth is a delusion. Then what is the reality? Who we are? What is that? How we can perceive ourselves? Bhagavan beautifully says how we exist in multi-dimension. An ant can see only the length and breadth if a paper is kept, and the paper is moved to a file which is stacked on top of each other. The ant thinks it is disappeared into a different dimension because it doesn't know the other dimension. Same way, when something happens to us and disappears, we think that is gone into something else. What has happened, we don't understand. And because our mind cannot perceive it, mind if can perceive, it should be more than infinity. So mind cannot perceive the absolute, the collective consciousness, collective integrity. Only the consciousness, how you exist as Paramashiva and perceive everything as Paramashiva, we can understand this higher science, higher reality. For understanding these consciousness, Bhagavan says is a tapas. Every day doing the power manifestation continuously awakens us into the conscious space, bringing all the auspiciousness and abundance. It's we who have created all these space for us to manifest the reality. That is the very purpose why we came to planet Earth, having the human body. From all the tapas we did, we wanted to experience the consciousness. And only possibility is we entangle with Bhagavan, who is in consciousness. Our mirroring neurons understand the conscious space and start living that conscious space. Now, let's turn on the camera. And if you have the Jnananjan in your Kantamala, apply in your third eye and your temples. Take a screenshot of your screen in the cell phone or tab, and there should be no apps. Please close all the apps, and after you take a screenshot, please do not touch the phone after that. Just through the Mahavakya, you're going to increase the battery charge, not decrease, because decrease can happen. But you will have a doubt whether it is happening because of something else which is running in the background. So increase is the only possibility where you will not have any doubt. So increase the battery charge by 5 to 10 points. Then you have manifested the powers. If you just feel the Kundalini energy and you just feel the vibration or the heat or the cell phone getting switched on or off, simply playing the Mahavakya, all this has happened. If that is what is happening, you have started manifesting the powers of Paramashiva or powers of silicon. So let's get into the deep meditation. Few minutes every day when we meditate on Paramashiva, simply we start experiencing the Paramashiva space in us, which is the existential reality. Bhagavan says, even few seconds of power manifestation is worth than anything else you do in the whole day, because it's so powerful. It can change your perception, your reality, and bring you so much of auspiciousness and abundance. Bhagavan clearly says, suddenly somebody wakes you up and say, hey, you're $1 trillion kid. How would you feel? That's exactly how you experience the consciousness. You will feel such a gratitude that you've been showered by all the auspiciousness when you wake up to the reality. So let's experience that by sitting straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Yes, don't use your gadget for a few minutes. Visualize Paramashiva, all his blessings, his powerful cognition, and his boons and initiation. Just hold his words and Bhagavan's visualization. Whatever you remember, whatever attire he's wearing, his gestures, his smile, his laugh, and all the intimate details that he's sharing for each one of us, and absolute unclutching from any other thought, any doubt. Oh, I should do this. This is not for me. I don't think anything works for me. Any thought, just put it away, good or bad. Just put it away for a few minutes. Let us be in the deep meditative space, just melting in Paramashiva. Nothing other than Bhagavan we know. Just going on melting in Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya. When you chant, you can have any Ishtadevata and melt in that also. If you are comfortable with any of the Venkateshwara, Kalabhairava, hold that space in your third eye and chant the Mahavakya. It can be Om, Om Namah Shivaya, Mahavakya. When you chant the Mahavakya, simply you merge into the oneness space. This is the science. If you follow intensely, we start manifesting as powers. Start chanting from your navel center, intensely vibrating with it and listening to it. That is the most important. Becoming alive and experiencing the oneness with Paramashiva. When you're Bhava, when you're sitting as 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands like a Devi, you simply become Devi and start manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. So let's start entangling with Bhagavan in oneness space and start chanting the Mahavakya intensely and manifest the powers of increasing the battery charge of silicon. Let's start chanting.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita force, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
So beautiful. Whatever you have received as prasada, that whatever Bhagavan has manifested through you as reality, please take a look at the screen, and if it has increased, the battery has increased, please take a screenshot of that. If you're recording, that is beautiful. All these greater truths is worth billions of dollars that you can experience all this just sitting at your home, entangling with Bhagavan, manifesting all this huge auspiciousness and abundance. Each and every time we are connecting to Paramashiva, getting into the space of oneness with Paramashiva is such a healing space and takes us more and more into consciousness. What we cherish, we become. Bhagavan beautifully says, what we eat, we belch. Same way, whatever you cherish continuously, that is what becomes as you. The more and more, how the worm continuously keeps seeing the bee. Maybe the bee will eat me, and it becomes the bee. And beautifully Bhagavan says how the whole space in us, whatever we keep on cherishing, we that. Even in negative sense, actually in negative sense is faster. Saguni got enlightened when Krishna and others saw in the mirror who is that who's very always thinking of Krishna. And then the person comes up most who is thinking of Krishna is Saguni. So he becomes enlightened. It is very, very difficult to constantly think of negative, but it is the fastest because you become very, very intense in that space. The whole space constantly when you are in oneness with Paramashiva, whether you are having a cup of coffee or you're making a financial decision or just having a walk or a chat, you understanding that everything that happens again and again, that everything that exists is Paramashiva as frequency, as quantum, and simply understanding the higher space that we are. The more mature we are, the more manifestation in our life becomes auspiciousness and abundance. What we cherish is what we are projecting as reality. If we cherish more of the incompletion with others, then everything that is reflected is others' incompletion on us. When we cherish more of bliss in us constantly, that everything that happens is a Bhagavan's prasada, and surrendering to Bhagavan whatever we are going through again and again in deep gratitude, whatever he's showing us is ultimate space. Again and again understanding the higher signs simply will make us more auspiciousness and more abundance. Everyone is a reflection of us, and everything is in a different form and different name. That's all it is. But our own incompletion and completion space, which is projected as everything. Now when we are in the Paramashiva space, then that gets projected as Paramashiva. Everyone becomes auspiciousness to us. Collective integrity becomes such a beautiful space for us to enjoy that oneness space and manifest the truth. So we'll have one more quick cycle of manifesting the power of silicon, increasing the battery charge. If you've already taken a picture, you again make sure there is no apps which are open. Close all the apps and take a screenshot, and after that do not touch the phone and or your tab. Make sure only through chanting and only through the oneness how you can manifest huge reality. Simply how your mother will listen. If you ask her to make something for you, simply she will listen. That is what the Mother Earth is also. She is waiting to take care. Even Bhagavan says, if you walk around the house, she will develop the plants with the vitamins that you need. She is so much in oneness with you. She is taking care of you. Same way, the silicon which is there is the earth element. If you connect to that in the deep gratitude, how your gratitude towards your mother, holding that beautiful gratitude space with your guru, simply will manifest as the highest reality. That is the integrity that we have with Bhagavan. Simple integrity, simple obedience. Simply the collective integrity will start forming around us. Let's have one more cycle of power manifestation. Let's sit straight, put away the gadgets. Only for manifesting, you're going to use the gadget today. And chant the Maha Vakya intensely from your navel center. Hold only Paramashiva Parashakti and the words that Bhagavan continuously kept on giving us the powerful cognition and the Atma Pramana, Apta Pramana, Shastra Pramana for us to understand the higher reality. Let's chant the Mahavakya.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, now authentically share it in your social media. Why do we need to share? When you contribute to others' life, enriching and causing, you are causing your own reality. All the avatars, if you see, one thing is very common. They hold the space only with Paramashiva and they go on contributing to humanity. That is the only thing they do. They don't even, Ramana Maharshi used to say, 24/7 people used to live around him and come and see him. And simply he would say, I don't want to miss that one devotee who might come in the middle of the night and he won't even close the doors. The only thing they knew is contributing to others' life. Again and again, when you contribute to others' life, raising the whole consciousness starts happening. You start raising in your frequency to the superconscious space. Bhagavan says, integrity, authenticity, responsibility is your part. Enriching and causing, I myself will flow through you when you enrich and cause. So these are the simple things Bhagavan has given for raising our frequency into superconscious being. And if you see the $sign at the end of the YouTube, you can click it and offer your gratitude. Already many are offering, thank you so much, contributing to Kailasha. Whatever you offer as your simple gratitude it will expand in your inner space. A Kailasha in your inner space starts happening. All that we vote for is what we live for. We have our brands that we like. Same way, the Paramashiva space in you, the most cherished space in you, you start voting for it by dropping $1 off one unit of your currency. When you start sharing your contribution, simply you see so much of abundance and auspiciousness flowing through you. With deep gratitude, surrendering to Bhagwan all that whatever he gave, offering to Bhagwan's lotus feet all the powerful cognition and power manifestation. Again and again, when we surrender to Bhagwan's lotus feet, we expand the inner space. And thanking each one of you, Bhagwan says, whenever you start manifesting powers, do Anga Pradakshina to yourself for listening to Bhagwan's satsang and manifesting as Bhagwan's reality in your very own space. So thanking Bhagwan with a deep yearning, ask Bhagwan to make Paramashiva as your reality. And let's end this session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. At 6 p.m. in Zoom, we have the next Kailash Kotiyat session. See you then. Thank you, Nithyanandam.